It's Wednesday morning. Our guest is Kim Myers, the Democratic candidate for Congress in New York's 22nd District. Michael Vasquez joins us. He has a question for you, and I know you've dealt with Mr. Vasquez about candidate forums, and I'll encourage you to at least accept his question.
Absolutely.
I'm a very fair person, Bob. You know that.
Well, we strive to be fair, and let's be fair to Kim Myers on our program here.
Of course, always. My question is a very simple one. I know that for the last 2 months you've been invited, Ms. Myers, to the candidate forum in Vestal, and I know that you had declined to do so. This is an opportunity to introduce yourself to many of the voters who have not heard about you, especially over the 5-month period where you made no statement since February. Can you explain clearly why you've chosen not to answer the questions of the public?
And by the way, in context, Mr. Vasquez, for people who don't know, you've been very much involved, although you run a political blog and write about politics in the area, you've been very much involved in the New York 22nd Congressional District, at one time even seeking the Republican nomination. So in fairness, we put that in context for listeners not familiar with your activist role.
One thing I would add to that, I have never worked for any campaign on any race, including the congressional race. So I just want to add that.
Right. I just wanted to point out that at one time you were actively seeking the nomination. At one point you were planning to challenge Claudia Tenney.
Actually, Richard Hanna, but yes.
Oh, Richard Hanna, I'm sorry. But anyway, so now Kim Myers can address your question.
See, I'm not quite sure the question. You're saying that I refuse to be on forums, and all of the congressional candidate campaigns have tried to work together to decide which forums we're going to do together and which schedules mesh together. That's not been an easy task, and I know of no forum that I've said I refuse to be on. As you might or might not know, the schedule's pretty hectic, and as our host has indicated about how large the geographical area is, and we're on the move all the time. And yes, we do have oftentimes where we have to decline an invitation due to scheduling or due to some other conflict, and then we try to make it up to whatever the geographical area is. As a matter of fact, we have a chart. If we've had to, say, refuse an offer in, say, Madison County, we make sure that we note that. So if an offer comes in for that particular area again, we make sure we move that to a top, so that we can get out to all our candidate or congressional areas and make sure that they all have fair representation.
Then may I ask a follow-up then, because I'm not understanding. I am aware that, and I know factually, I have verified, you were requested to be at this event for 2 months. So that was an opportunity.
I'm not sure what event are you talking about?
Were you talking about the forum in Vestal?
Yes. The Americans for Restoring the Constitution candidate forum in Vestal on Monday. And I know that for a fact. I've already verified that information. But more importantly, ma'am,
last Monday, as in 2 days ago?
Yes.
I was not in town.
Okay.
So who of the 2 other congressional candidates who showed up?
Claudia Tenney, Martin Babinek refused to respond. He was also contacted.
So the 3 candidates were no-shows.
No.
All right, but
did show.
Oh, okay.
She did answer the questions of the public. Mr. Babinek, who was requested for 2 months, just as Ms. Myers was, refused to respond. But my question in follow-up, Ms. Myers, is there another forum where the public will be able to ask you questions directly that you will be attending in Binghamton and Marin County that the public will be able to be aware of?
As I said, I know all 3 campaign managers have met and are working on arranging what would work with everybody's schedule. I don't know as any candidate would be ducking any opportunity to get in front of voters, including myself. And I understand very well that each individual's request for a candidate is paramount in their mind. But we work with all of the candidates to find out what is the best way to get our message out and to meet in front of the people.
Thanks, Mr. Vasquez.